Hey, welcome to the Chuck and Al Show, the space where real life meets real conversation. I'm here with my friend and pastor, and together we're exploring the questions that don't always fit neatly in a Sunday sermon or in a soundbite. Every week, we dig into the stuff that we're all wrestling with: purpose, doubt, hope, relationships, and the chaos in a modern world, and what it actually looks like to live with meaning in a world that never slows down. No perfect answers, no pressure to pretend, just two friends thinking out loud and inviting you into the conversation. This is the Chuck and Al Show. Let's get into it. You got a haircut.
I did. You know why I got a haircut?
Yeah.
Real quick before I go further, do you know we're getting ready? This will air on Monday.
The day after
Easter's
Easter.
already happened.
Yep.
There's just tons of people out here working. And do you know what I just heard?
What's that?
Oh, my God, you're about to film your podcast. Or film, right? I don't know. Of course.
One day.
I said, yeah. They said, oh, this is exact words. I need to come meet Keaton. You're famous.
Who's that?
I'm not telling you. You
Well,
have
that's not
fans.
fair. Well.
It is fair. You have fans.
Okay.
There's people roaming the property.
That's phenomenal.
Their words were not.
Paparazzi are probably going to meet me on my way to the car.
They literally said the words, oh, my God, I need to come meet Keaton.
That's cool. There's a lot going on.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That we could end the podcast now.
Thanks,
and you're
everybody.
Famous.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. It's a wonderful time. Running a little late today.
Running
Are you
late
good?
today.
Are you good?
Yeah, I think so. There's just a lot going on.
You do. I
Yeah.
know. It's seriously a funny thing.
When we started this, there was
Nothing.
not a lot going on.
You were a boring human.
Yeah.
That's why I jumped in. I thought, your life, you're so bored.
No problem.
No problem. And then as soon as I'm going to do a podcast, and I think I remember saying to you, I said, you need to really think about this, because when you go, I'm doing it every week, it's going to catch you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I got it.
It'll be fine.
It'll be
No biggie.
fine. And now every week I get
Later and later
I'm
and
running
later.
behind, man. I'm running behind.
Miss some weeks.
Yeah, that's
Later
okay.
and later and later.
It's your podcast. I love you. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of like small group.
Okay.
Nobody wants to go to small group, but you're always glad you went after.
Yeah.
You know? And
Absolutely.
so it's never something I'm going to regret doing. It's just, man, can I get there? Can I get all the people around me taken care
And
of?
we're only 50 minutes late, and I still feel good. You feel good.
I feel good. Yeah.
I feel
could use some
good.
caffeine, maybe like an IV.
I have some black coffee in my office that's as black as tar that'll amp you
just
up.
a shot. Yeah.
2 shots of that. You'll do a 5-hour podcast.
Love it. Love it.
How do you take coffee? Black, or do you sweeten it up?
I sweeten it up. Yeah. I'm a sweet guy.
Golly.
Yeah.
Do you do all the funky stuff, like add a little bit of lavender, add a little bit of caramel?
No, I went to a friend's house and he made me a lemon type coffee drink.
Okay.
It's kind of supposed to
not
taste
coffee.
like lemon pound cake
Yeah, that's not coffee.
and coffee mixed together.
Yeah, it's not
I did
coffee.
not like it.
No, not coffee.
I was like, okay, you can get vanilla, you can get caramel.
No, not
I
coffee.
can get behind
coffee is coffee. Everything
Straight
else
black is
yeah,
how you-
straight black
that's-
is coffee. Anything you add is not coffee, but
Okay.
that's okay. It's coffee flavor.
Sure.
So you drink coffee.
I drink
flavored
coffee
stuff.
flavor. Yeah.
Stuff.
So, yeah, things.
I
yeah.
love it. Well, I don't want to waste your time on that, but what's brewing up in your brain? The reason we're here is you have brain brews, and you said, I need a place to come and talk this stuff out. And so here's the podcast, Chuck and Al. What brews up there in your brain lately that you're like, I gotta talk about this? Because I got a ton in my brain.
Okay.
My brain is loaded.
I've got a lot of ways I could go to get. So let me give you some options, and then you tell me what you want to go into.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you my options. You tell me yours, and then
Okay.
we'll decide.
Go
okay.
for it.
So we could talk about how people suck,
Okay.
because they do, even though they're great at the same time.
Okay.
I mean, people are great, but they suck.
Okay. I feel like there's some tension there, but go ahead.
So maybe we don't want to go there. This podcast airs the day after Easter,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we could talk about, man, what are you going to be preaching about? But also, is there a message after the message? Something that, like, hey, I couldn't share this, but if I could go a little further and they're listening to this, this is what I want you to hear.
Okay.
Those are my 2 thoughts.
Okay.
What do you got? We could also talk millennial reign. I mean, there were so many ways we can go.
I'm always good for millennial reign because I think that's where we're headed. I believe where AI is.
The world is shaking.
AI is coming along faster than we give it credit, and we've got to learn everything's going to be automated here soon. And are we ready for flying cars and automated?
Is our currency going to be changing soon?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Soon? I don't know, but absolutely. It's going to change. Here's something interesting. I ran of what I read. I never know anymore what's true. I just have to.
Did you Iran or Iran?
Iran.
Okay.
Iran. I
Got
don't
it.
run.
Okay.
Iran, not anymore. So Iran is declared that to go through the Straits of Hormuz, you're going to have to pay with the yuan. So not the U.S. dollar.
Get out of the
no, they're not going to accept
petrodollar.
They're not going to accept U.S. dollars at all.
Okay.
So that sticks us here.
That really sucks for us.
And Japan, China, Russia, everybody that's going to be paying their currency because they're going to try to crush the dollar. And I think all that's intentional because it's going to kill our economy. It's going to tank the dollar.
Increase inflation.
We absolutely. We already owe trillions of debt.
Yep.
And so once
and rates are going to go higher, which means our own debt is going to get more expensive.
Yes. So I said this 10 years ago.
Gold crashed.
10 years ago, 10 years ago or more in a teaching I did on Revelation. I'd have to go back and look at when it was, but I did a 28-week teaching on the book of Revelation. And in that, I made the comment that it's going to be very difficult to ever have one world global rule government, however you want to slice it,
Sure.
a conglomerate of nations that rule the world.
The United Nations isn't exactly good at what they do.
No, through laws and and I made the comment because that will never happen as long as America is a nationalistic country because we're everybody's big brother, and we're not going to let you go that way.
But if we become a globalist,
okay, so
the world can be globalist.
So I said, if it's ever going to, like the Bible plays out, if it's ever going to be a one world government, one world economy where Revelation 13 could be potential, which 10 years ago I was thinking it could be potential. Now it's like, no, it's here. We're just have to launch it. Yeah, we just have to get it going. It's
probably already going in the background. We don't.
It is for sure. It's already there with automated AI, with digital currency, with everything automated.
Your dollar's not real anymore.
Yeah, Revelation 13 is here. It just has to be implemented. And by Revelation 13, I mean a system that is a global system that can control humans and can control the economy, because the way I would teach that the beast system is going to operate is economically. It will start first economically, but that has to be implemented politically, and then it will be spiritual. So it will be an economic crisis that will, I feel like I'm talking really loud. I think it's the coffee.
Intense. Yeah.
It felt intense as I was talking.
We kind of went from like soft to full on.
Yeah, I felt like I was, here
we go.
Like I need more coffee. I'm sorry.
So I just pulled Revelation 13 up.
Okay, so here I'll back off and talk softly. So I just get really passionate about this. So here's my thinking. For Revelation 13, which talks about a beast system that will control the global economy to happen, there first has to be a need to have a conversation about economic collapse so politics can come and begin to govern how the economy will either right itself or restore itself. And once you have a blending of an economic reasoning, which we've already been talking about anyway with global warming, climate warming, all of the things. COVID was a good
global epidemic.
I call it a test run. I said that in 2020 when it came out and everything was happening. I said, this is, to me, feels like a test run.
Bill Gates was planning that long before it happened.
Oh, I know. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I even listened to a Pfizer exec that had retired or quit, I don't know which, but he said that there was no way to have a vaccine ready in that amount of time. Like they called it, hey, we're going to fast track this vaccine. No, it had already been there. It was already waiting. It was just all propaganda.
Did you see this week, Pfizer came out and said they found the cure to Lyme disease?
What is it? Another shot?
Another shot, but the post is expect everybody to get bit by ticks this year.
Yeah.
Because we have a vaccine for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I follow this guy. I don't know.
And just want to go back to Revelation 13.
Okay.
You're talking about the system that forces us into having a mark to pay for goods and services.
But the mark is the end result. It's the spiritual. So we're not going to have spiritual first. The first thing you're going to have is a crunch economically, because if you can hit the pocketbook in the belly, you can control people.
They will respond. If I can't feed my family,
absolutely. So that's got to happen, and that's happening. We're already seeing gas prices crazy
Debt
here.
is through the roof for every American.
Everything,
ever.
food, everything. Yeah. So there's a crisis.
And we're just looking at America. We're not even talking about the whole world. Yeah.
But remember, Big Brother. So we're now kind of globalist. I think that's why the whole MAGA movement shook the agenda up, because when you said make America great again, that threw us back into a nationalistic pride.
Yeah.
And you cannot have global government with nationalistic pride. This is one of the reasons China and Russia play such a big role, because I'm assuming, based on what I see, that China is very nationalistic, right? Yeah. They talk global, but very much China, right?
They want to be the global.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's Russia, who still, so you kind of
Russia's very nationalistic. And I actually think there's more nationalists awakening in America today.
Yes.
I think the response to the war that's happening right now is people saying, hey, wait, whoa, why are we doing this? Right.
True.
So I think that is nationalism rising up.
So two things are happening in our world. Is there's nationalistic pride of countries, which has to happen. Everybody thinks it's racist. It's not. If you live in a country, you're supposed to be proud of that country, proud of your heritage, your culture, your language. America, however, is a melting pot of all of them.
Correct.
So we are a little different, because we are a true melting pot of all the nations of the earth who come here with political ideologies and cultural mores and all of the things.
And if someone in the Midwest is listening and doesn't know what that means, just come to Atlanta for a weekend. You will understand a melting pot.
Yeah, absolutely. So our country's a melting pot. So when you say nationalistic pride, it can be very offensive, because we have nationals from all over the world who maybe call this home, I guess, and then some are really loyal.
Right.
Like the people that fought in the wars for our freedom, World War II and some of the Gulf Wars and, Desert Storm. The people that fought in a war to give us freedom, they're very much nationalistic.
And most of the immigrants that fought to get here.
Yes,
right?
are nationalistic.
Yeah.
So that has to end. You cannot have global domination. So what do? You get China and Russia together. They're working for a global agenda. They're kind of pro-Iran. China and Russia are, kind of because the oil.
Yeah.
Right, we got to have the oil. So
they need it.
Everybody needs it.
China needs it worse than anybody.
Yes.
But,
So Donald Trump's playing 4D chess with everybody on globalism.
So do you think Trump is a globalist then?
Oh, absolutely. Has to be. I say has to be.
I mean, his past interviews, even 20, 30 years ago, was very nationalist based.
I think he's nationalist because he needs the vote.
Okay.
But I think
so. You think he's playing games?
He has to. Politicians have to play the game to win.
Yeah.
I think they don't get into it that way. I think they get into it but they realize, I think they already know that the system is America's not governed by America. We're governed by global banks and global agendas that are bigger than us.
We no longer support ourselves.
And Donald Trump is like, nah, I'm going to. And so he did. His first round, he kind of went against it. And he still tried this round to go, hey, we're going to be nationalistic. We're bringing everybody home. So
manufacturing home.
I think he is trying to keep us national, but he's fighting all of the agendas of the world. And the way they come against nationalistic pride now is, I will go back to the 70s and 80s. It used to be prideful to wear an American flag. Like sport the American flag, sing the anthem. I grew up pledging allegiance to the flag my whole year.
Every day in school.
Every day in school.
Yeah.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. Right? So there was a very much nationalistic groupthink that doesn't exist anymore in our country. Now, if you're nationalistic, it's an easy win. I label you a racist.
Sure.
So now to be a nationalist,
a Christian nationalist.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the buzzword now.
Yeah.
We're not Christian; we're Christian nationalists. So that becomes dirty and evil, because I have to do that. I have to take that which is normal pride for your nation, and I have to turn it into dirty. I have to make it feel like that you're an awful human for believing these things. And so it's working under the scenes. Why? Because I have to have global. And to have global, I'm going to hit your belly in your pocketbook, period. And crisis of wars and fear. I'm going to fearmonger. Everything you watch on the news is fear. Now I've got AI in my favor, so you don't know what's real or not. I can just keep you guessing.
All manipulation.
And then what will happen is, once the economy tanks, we will shoot toward politics to fix it, political world. And I believe we will fix it globally via a control of food and commerce via money. So by commerce via money, I mean a global currency, right? That maybe that wipes out debts of what everybody owes, and we kind of go, okay, we're all back at square one. I don't know. But it's going to tank economy and hit the pocketbook, and government will solve it, and we will have a government worldwide, I think, by 2030.
Because you're talking about a global economy crash.
Yes. But I think that's going to make way for artificial intelligence, because once that's rolling by 2030, and
clearly humans can't manage this. We need something smarter.
Everything
than us.
gets online, and I do believe there's going to, although we will lose maybe sectors of jobs, people will lose sectors of jobs. I think once that's over and all that dust settles, I don't think anybody in the AI world would ever want to go back. I think it's going to be so incredible because I do believe the artificial intelligence has a realm of this is going to be incredible. Self-driving cars, self-flying cars, automated robots in your home that do all of the
chores,
just menial tasks.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody's, the buzzword is, I've kind of got my AI chat bot over here that works for me, that's doing work for me, like scheduling.
But there's about to be a physical thing.
I was listening to a guy yesterday. This is nothing, but this is just what he's saying. He said, I don't even do anything. He said, I've got my AI my AI agent works for me, books all my plane flights, schedules all of my meetings, makes all of my calls for me, does everything for me. And he said, where I used to have to come home, and he said, now I come home and I just have 24/7 my AI agents running the business, running my phone calls, managing my calendars, so I can come home and spend time with my family.
Wow.
I can come home and focus on things I want to. Who wouldn't want that?
Who wouldn't go? Yeah. Who would want to go back to the other?
So once we get over the fear of artificial intelligence, of like people going, it's the devil. It's. I don't think it is, but I do believe it's the core of what has to happen for the Bible to fulfill itself, meaning global economy, global world control, economic control, political control, and we're going to want to go there. They're not going to force us. We're going to want this. I want it. I mean, it's an incredible tool. The issue becomes once you have politics and economic together, you now have the spiritual. And the spiritual line is where it will get interesting, because at that moment it will be, if you don't worship me, you won't eat. Do
you think we've exited then? Because you're pre-trib, right? So how does that timeline play out in your head?
I don't know. I have my opinion, which is only an opinion. I think we exit long before the global agenda hits hard, because I think once you remove the church.
So you think we exit before they say, hey, you're not going to eat?
I think that's going to be one of the crises of, oh my God, what just happened? Whether that's aliens took
something
us.
Has to happen big.
Some world crisis that happened.
To the whole world.
Yeah. And it will whether they believe in God or a rapture or aliens, there's a new age philosophy from years ago. I don't know which branch, but I just remember I was reading and studying it, where the teaching was that Earth will cleanse itself from, the word I would use would be like half-breeds, the dirty people. The earth will Mother Earth will cleanse itself.
We'll wipe them out.
So once we would say the righteous people are raptured, the left side of that thinking is, oh, Mother Earth or aliens just purified this nasty breed of people that were corrupting the earth with their narrow-minded ideologies.
Christian nationalism.
Oh yeah. Well, one way, only one God. We've got them out of here. So, I don't know. I mean, I land on rapture or not. It's what the Bible teaches is going to happen. Where the church sits in the middle of that, I have my opinions. But I think we would be foolish to think that what we're living in right now is the same as it's always been. It's not. It never will be. It's not going backward. You can run from it. You can go, I don't care. That's just so. It doesn't make sense to me. Great. And yet it's coming anyway. It'll be an economic change, a cultural change, a political change, the way we do life, the way we do family, the way we work, the way we do education. I don't know if you saw Melania Trump with the robot.
No, I didn't.
Going to be using AI robots to
yes,
teach.
I did. I saw a clip of that, yeah.
Well, they're moving that AI robots will now teach, which is we won't need human teachers anymore to teach the curriculum. The human teacher will be in the room for the relational, emotional equity of the room, but not the educational aspect of the room. And that was one of the...
That's making us smarter?
We're already smarter with AI. It already can outdo any human at any given time.
Oh, we need school.
Well, for a systemic way to learn, I think, hey, I think the joke of education anyway is whatever the education branch of the Board of Education of the federal government says we need to know, right? Hey, you need to know these things to graduate.
Sure.
And you need to go to college to have a job. Most people are waking up that what I learned in school
was useless.
Yeah. And I went to college in the
It was an indoctrination, not an
absolutely.
education.
And the first 2 years of college was useless because it was just taking English and science over again.
A full repeat of what you just did.
And now,
but now I'm in debt.
And now, yeah, that's the reasoning is to slave you to the system. But the reality of that is I graduated and realized everything I learned, I really didn't learn. It just gave me a piece of paper that got an open door to a job, and really 90% of my learning came from hands-on in the job.
Doing the job.
Oh, yeah. You have a college degree, and I would imagine you said what you learned on the job versus what this.
So I actually went to college and worked at the same time in the industry that my degree was for. So I was doing school online at night and working during the day in construction as a PM. These guys actually asked me this question last week. They're like, well, what did you learn? And I was like, well, really nothing. It was just a documentation of everything I was learning during the day. It was not helpful.
And I heard Elon Musk make the comment that college education will not be needed anymore because
he also said you're not going to have to save for retirement.
Yeah, because there's zero value for knowledge. It's so vast.
It'll be easy and accessible.
And the reason you would go to college now is for social experiments. Because I'm going to go with
arts.
Yeah, well, no, just with other 19-year-olds at the same sphere of life as me. Yeah, I'm just going to go and hang out with other 19-year-olds on this campus, and we're going to take these classes, whether that's going to be AI professors or how that curriculum's going to play out. But I will say that many college kids are getting sick of getting a degree that they owe $150, $200K plus, and they can't find a $35,000 job.
Yeah,
so there's
a real problem.
Yeah, there's coming a thinking anyway of this is not worth it because I'm graduating owing multiple hundreds of thousands and I can't even find a $50,000 job. So
I could have made more doing anything else.
Yeah, true. And already that's true because if you go to a technical school and
go to a trade school,
you're going to by far have a better outcome for a job. $100K, $150K for entry once you're in the field, I think is going to be a no-brainer for people. So that's what I mean by everything is changing. The way it's not going to be you raising your son will not even remotely be what you and I'm 60, you're 40, right? And rolling mid-30s, somewhere in there, 20, 22.
I'm 29.
So, puppy. So even the way you were raised and I was raised, because I was raised with no computer. I got my first computer in college and couldn't even understand how it worked, the internet. You were raised with that. Your son is going to be raised with artificial intelligence.
I do remember dial-up, though.
Yeah, really. And your kid is going to be raised with artificial intelligence. He will either be far behind the game because you're afraid of it and he has no clue how to use it, or you will teach them how to use the vast array. I would almost say by the time your son hits high school, you'll have a robot in your house. It will just be a standard.
Oh, I mean, I'm already looking at a robot to mow my grass.
Yeah, I mean, so you're going to have a standard.
That's just the start.
Yeah, and Uber just.
You thought those little robot vacuums were cute? Yeah. That was just the beginning.
So I just listened to a podcast with the CEO of Uber. Dude, brilliant guy. I mean, he came out of Expedia and they got him and now he's over Uber. Took a $1 billion failing company and now it's billions to the good, right?
Yeah.
Like he's turned the whole thing around financially. But he's talking about, all the automated taxis and automated drivings, and believes by 2029, most major cities in America will have automated driving. And by 2030, somewhere in there, that every car coming off the lot will be automated self-driving cars, whether you choose to use it or not.
Sure.
They will have the potential. And then somewhere in the future, automated self-driving car will be the norm. You can still drive it as a human, but the norm is going to be why? Why would you? You could sit in the back seat and work. If you have an hour-long commute,
oh man,
you could sit in the
front.
It
would completely change the game.
Yeah, you could sit in the front seat of your car and do work and make phone calls while your car drives you to work. No brainer. You're getting 2 hours more of work.
Yep.
Whether that's home,
which means I'm less in the office.
Yes.
Or I can live further away, maybe where I want to.
Or by
live.
the time you get in the office, you're going to spend an hour and a half doing all of the detailed stuff that you just did. Same is true on an airplane.
Yeah.
They're making it now where Wi-Fi, you can work the whole way.
Yep.
You can
already there.
They're already there. So they're already making it where now
Which has changed just in the last 2 years. I used to fly every week when I lived in Florida, and so I would have to buy a subscription to Wi-Fi so that I could do that. Now
not anymore.
it's free.
It's
free game.
That's intentional.
Yeah.
Because I need these workers to fly with me and be able to. I heard another CEO was talking about travel and what they're trying to do for travel with AI. And one of the things is that they want you to consider the airplane your office. So when you come in, you're doing work.
Yeah.
You know, you want to.
It's an extension.
Yeah, we want to make our airplane an extension of your everyday life, not, oh my God, hurry up and get me off this plane.
Yeah.
Like
I can't wait to get there so I can get some deep work in.
Especially if you're going to fly from Atlanta to LA, you got a 4-hour flight one way for sure.
Yeah.
You got 4 hours to work. And not just work, man. You can make phone calls.
Uninterrupted.
Yes, uninterrupted.
Yeah, by people.
So
physically.
So what I believe is everything's changing, and we haven't even gotten the topic of how is the church going to answer this?
Well, so we need to go there, but before we go there, everything you just described, while exciting, is also kind of scary.
Why?
Because it's kind of proven that humans with too much time on their hands is not a good thing. And everything you just described is, hey, we're going to have all this time on our hands because everything's just going to be done for us. Mm-hmm. Even Elon Musk has said, like, the biggest pandemic or mental pandemic in the future will be no one has purpose. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's where the church steps in. But what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is what the CEO of Uber said. I'm going to give a paraphrase because I can't say I'm quoting him exactly, but I knew it in one word I know is the word laziness. He said, we've learned to capitalize on human laziness. He was talking about Uber going to Uber Eats, right?
Yeah.
And he said, all we did was capitalize on human laziness. You know you want to sit at home and have us deliver your food.
You don't want to go get
So we're going to capitalize on that. Then he went into, because the question was, is Uber Eats going to start delivering more than food? And he goes, we're looking into it now to be able to deliver anything to your door.
I had Amazon deliver my coffee yesterday.
Okay. So Uber is looking into getting into delivering anything outside of the food realm. So we'll deliver clothes for you, shoes for you. You need a pair of shoes.
Trying to take Amazon and make it instant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you So you no longer have to wait on Amazon.
Also bad for the debt problem. Just throwing that out there.
Think about this. I'm sitting at home.
Sometimes it's good that it takes work to get there because you might not spend money you don't have. Just saying.
So think about this. I'm sitting at home. Last year, I ordered a guitar. I'm sitting at home. Guitar is supposed to arrive like on a Tuesday at 10:08, but they give you a good window between 10 and 4.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I got to clear my whole calendar because it has to be signed for. I sit there from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, nothing. It keeps saying on the app, it's out for delivery, I'm not going to miss it. And so finally it rolls around to 10 p.m. at night. I'm like, well, I've been here all day, 12 hours, 10 to 10, waiting, nothing. So I log back in. Where is it? It's back in the facility, going to be out for delivery tomorrow. I do the same thing the second day. It rolls by, nothing hits. So I go to work. As soon as I'm out, I get we're here to leave your box. No one was home. So it took me over a week to get my UPS package delivered from the post office, from UPS to my door, because a signature, right? Nothing wrong with that. I'm glad they waited.
You do want it signed for.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't bad with that.
We're not talking about $100 guitar.
No,
it's got value.
And I'm good with that. I'm just saying, can you imagine me calling up an Uber
to go
delivery and say, I need you to pick up my guitar at this location. I've signed for it and paid for it. And can you bring it to wherever I'm at?
Yeah.
I'm at my work. And he goes, sure, and picks it up and says, I'll be there at 2:30. And now I'm not wasting hours waiting. I know when it's going to be delivered, just like an Uber driver.
Is this a human Uber or is this an automated Uber?
It would probably have to be a human Uber to go in and get the package.
So we have some not lazy people who are doing the work.
This is what the Uber CEO said. He said, we're always going to keep it that way. We're going to keep it where it's both automated and human because both are needed. We need a human element in it and as well as an automated. The automated element is going to be inside the big cities like Waymo.
Sure.
It's going to sit within the perimeter of Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, right now San Francisco.
Austin.
Yeah. All these cities are going to have the automated everything. But the human driver is, hey, I can go out into the middle of Temple, Georgia, outside the perimeter that I might not have the
infrastructure.
Yes, to be able to go out there in a self-driving automated car.
Yep.
But I can use a driver. So gosh, give ourselves 5 years. I love what he said. He said, I'm going to capitalize on human laziness. People want to be home. They want it as easy as possible. That's true because I'm 60. I don't even order anything from a store anymore. I do it all on Amazon.
Yeah.
90% of everything I buy, I just buy on Amazon.
And Walmart's almost just as fast now as Amazon, if not faster on some items.
So that's what I mean by the world is changing, but it's changing in such a way you want it. So when we read Revelation 13, we read with this big fear of, oh my God, one world economy, one world government. Oh my God, humanoids, AI, it's all the devil. Nobody would take it. So the reality of it is it's going to be given to you like the fruit in the book of Genesis. When she looked at the fruit,
as an opportunity.
It was good for food, the Bible says, pleasing to her eyes, and it was good for food, pleasing to the eyes, and to make her wise. So those three things are artificial intelligence. It's good for food, like, come on. Like, this is going to meet every need I have. It's going to meet a social need. It's going to meet a physical need. It's going to meet a mental need for me, a time stamp need for me. And it said it was beautiful for the eyes. Everything happening in artificial intelligence, I go back to my belief it's the tree of knowledge today being offered us.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great thing. We're going to take it. It's after it's implemented and I'm in the system and I'm loving the system and I have my robots and I have my automated car and we won't even have computers like we have now.
It'll be easy.
Life's going to be simple. It's just going to be so simple.
And therefore feel natural to worship.
And here's what's funny. Apple Pay that I use is so archaic. But Apple Pay to me is like, it's the easiest thing in the world. Click, click, pay, click, click, pay, click, click. I don't have to pull out a credit card. I don't have to get change. Just click, click, pay. It hits my bank. It hits my app. It hits my phone.
It's the start.
So my thinking to that is, everybody's going to go there automatically because it's going to make your life so much more simplified as a mother, everything from schoolwork to homework, everything going on. And there's a big homeschooling movement now, right? Like
huge.
Can you imagine I don't know if the homeschool world's a different world, but if you were a homeschool parent to say to your children, I have an automated AI tutor that will literally talk with you and know your name and know who you are and your personality and what you're good at and not good at, that will know everything about the way you think and the way you do work, even like I as a mother would know. And that is going to be your tutor to sit down. And now all the mother does is just make sure that the work's done. I'm here to meet your needs. I'm here to love you. I'm here to make sure that the curriculum you're learning is what I want. So the mom's not having to sit down and go, well, this is what X plus Y plus.
But don't you think that the homeschool movement is for the opposite?
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, it's for the opposite, but the reality of that is...
it becoming popular is a step towards, well, it's not weird to do this anymore, and now look, it's easy.
The reason I say that is because I don't know. I've never done the research, but the people I know in the conversations I have, most that are homeschooling because they hate public education, they hate the indoctrination, and they hate the curriculum, period. They may send them to a Christian school, but even if they send them to a Christian school, it's the environment.
Right.
So it's environmental, it's curricular. So I don't like the curriculum, I don't like the environment, and I don't like the indoctrination, so I'm going to bring them home. But if I told that mom or dad, whoever the one's going to be there, if I told you, I can provide that to you and you don't have to pay me a dime. You get to pick your environment, pick your curriculum, pick what you want, design your AI agent to be that person, and to teach everything you need it to teach, not to indoctrinate, but to teach what you want. So you set the curriculum, you set the time, you set what you want, you set the environment, you put the parameters with the prompts around it, and you go, here's what we're using. And the AI agent sits in front of your child, and your child says, I don't understand this algebra problem. Can you explain it to me? And the AI agent, just like a teacher, goes, okay, well, let's look at it, and begins to do all the work, and the student does it, and the mom or dad checks up on it. I don't know any parent that wouldn't want that, because you're not saying, I'm out here running the streets while my kids are talking to a bot. Like, I'm in the home loving on the kids. I'm in the home having free time to do things around the house, while my kids have this wonderful teacher teaching them the very curriculum and the very environment I want. and we're all done, and we go out and hang out as family, which is what we wanted anyway. And mom's not frazzled trying to run over here and teach the 10th grader and teach the 3rd grader and teach the 4th grader and teach, right? I'm having to teach every one of them, get all their lessons plans together. It's like there's no need for that anymore. The artificial bot that's working, the agent that already has your curriculum. It's already written and designed, just like you wanted it. I think that's the fear, is like, oh my God, it's going to be something I don't want. No, you can use the prompts to have it be exactly what you want. Why wouldn't you?
Unless it overrides.
Well, yeah, but you got to be smart.
That's the fear.
Yeah,
so you got to be there.
That's the fear of anything.
Yeah.
If it overrides, I don't want to. You remember when theaters were getting shot up? I don't want to go watch Batman, in a theater. It's like
Colorado.
It's like there's always going to be the what if.
Sure.
So you can run from that and go archaic and go, no, I'm never going that way, and that's fine. Nobody's mad at you for it. But I'm just saying the world is changing whether we like it or not. It doesn't matter if you like it or not.
So,
it's headed that way.
Do you think we have jobs?
Yes, absolutely. It'll just be different jobs.
Will it be for pay or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just going to be sitting around in 1970 and telling me you wanted to be a computer programmer. I'm like, I don't, what? I don't. I wouldn't have really even known how
what that is
at age 10 to even know what a computer was.
Sure.
There was nothing. But you take a 10-year-old now and go, what do you want to be in there? I want, they're already in the artificial, intelligent, global thinking. I won't say everyone, but most of them have a phone that's just doing things that so far beyond what any computer I had as a college kid could do on the phone. What I mean by that is, yes, there will be plenty of work, plenty of money. It's just going to be different. Like I used to have to handwrite everything. I don't do that anymore. I used to have to go home and punch a button to see who left me a message I used to have to go home and make sure that I hit record on the VCR so I wouldn't miss my favorite show while I was at church. That all changed, and I adapted to it. Now we don't even have VCRs. We don't have CD players. We don't have cassette players.
You don't even have cable.
Nothing. It all shifted. So and everybody's having the conversation, because the music world, the film world is trying to answer AI. The music world is up and roar over number one songs that are created by AI artists, right? Everybody's having to answer, how are we going to manage this
the economy impact,
this system that's coming on us, that you're not going to stop it. Everybody that I've listened to that's in it is saying you won't stop it. You're just going to have to learn how to navigate it. You're not going to stop the AI revolution. It's here. It's coming. You won't stop it. You're just going to have to adapt to it or run from it. And if you run from it, you're going to be no different than me and you looking at somebody today going, you don't have a phone? Yeah. How can we? You mean I have to send you a letter in the mail? You don't have power? You don't have running water? We would think that's a third world mentality, right? No toilet, no running water, third world.
It's like the Amish today.
And if you're not, well, they at least have water.
They do have water.
my point being, how weird to live in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're living like a third world mentality. Yeah. Like, I'm not going that way. I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to have AI. I'm not going to have a computer. Which is great. Go for it. Nobody's mad at that. My thing is, it's headed that way.
What do you think God wants us to do?
Head that way.
Go with it.
Because it's prophesied. There's going to be a global world government that forces economic worship of a beast system that is of the dark side of the world, controlled by, we would say, Satan, the great dragon. It's going there whether we like it or not. So I look at it as...
it's only a problem when it gets to worship.
To worship, yeah. Absolutely.
But people could argue today we worship our phones.
We do.
Right. So
we do.
So how does that line really get drawn,
Because it's not going to be that kind of worship. It's not going to be, that's not the worship.
I mean, Revelation 13 says...
worship is not the amount of time I spend with somebody. You're going to literally have to say that this is God. That's what he's going for. Yeah. So it's not going to be, oh, God, I took a mark by mistake. The mark is your allegiance. It's an allegiance to the system, an allegiance to the worship of this image as God. So it's not I did it by mistake. I took a nano,
This is how the Apple Apple logo starts to make sense at the end.
Sure. And or somebody saying, hey, you don't need to have a nanobot running through your blood. That's the mark of the beast. They're going to turn it on and you're going to worship the devil one day. I don't think it's going to be, oh my God, I did this by mistake. What I reason from reading scripture is that it is a logical, calculated decision where you agree that this system, beast system, is God and it's connected to Satan. Yeah. It's God. And therefore, to claim it's God, it's going to have something that makes me denounce
to trump God.
God.
Yeah.
I'll have to denounce God to call it God. Well, not denounce God because it's saying it is God.
Sure.
It would be Christ. I would have to denounce Christ. So the weird part of this is that Lucifer wants to be God, right? That's his whole goal.
From the beginning.
So he cannot get us to be irreligious because he desires to be worshiped like a God.
Right.
So he's going to keep religion in the world. It just has to be a religion that is so watered down that we're still and we're there in America now because we're very religious, but we're religious within the own constructs of our morality. My religion is my morals, right? Like, I believe in God, and it's kind of whatever you want to believe, just put God's name on it.
Yep.
That has to happen because you cannot have Christ and the Antichrist at the same time. Meaning by that, one is God, that's why one is anti. Lucifer doesn't want to be anti-Christ. He wants to be God. So that's why I think once the church is removed and Christ is out, there is no more need for Christ. We got rid of all his kids, right?
Sure.
God,
his system's over.
And so it's easy to go, okay, I'm God now. And the world is going to already believe, yeah, man, we believe there's a higher power, a bigger God, an alien or something.
Something took over.
There is a higher power. And most people now are talking about that. They're talking about releasing the alien files and everything.
Alien.gov.
Yeah. So it's all just set up right in front of us. And then we're mad about gasoline or milk prices. And I'm like, Jesus is returning, and we can't get over the fact that my kid has a ball game, and I've not witnessed to one person I'm sitting by. They don't even know that I know Jesus. I'm ticked off that milk is so incredibly expensive. I'm spending triple on money, not the very fact that the people I see every week don't even know Jesus. God's kids are distracted, a lot of them, and the world's headed that way toward the end.
So you said earlier, we're more on a path than we've ever been in history, ever.
Yes.
What derails that? Let's play devil's
Nothing
advocate.
will derail it.
Well, what derails what makes this go another 100 years and not get there as fast as you're thinking today?
I would say the only thing is God wants more people to repent, because he said the reason I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting is I want more people to repent.
So does there need to be a revival?
Yes. A revival in the sense of that people own their 50 feet and tell others about Jesus.
Yeah.
So
do you think that started today? In some places.
Absolutely. Go look. I made the joke, I think, a few weeks ago that the church is so distracted now with I'm hurt, I'm emotionally hurt, I'm spiritually hurt, I'm deconstructing, I'm over here trying to figure out the Bible's real, it's not real, it's made up by a bunch of men, I don't trust people. There's a lot of people in church
church hurt's kind of a trend.
They're at least rethinking it. Like I'm rethinking church and religion. And then on the other side of the coin are the Joe Rogans, the Russell Brands, all of these high-level people, Sean Ryan,
who have been agnostic or even
perverted.
Yeah.
Who now go, I believe in Jesus, and I'm going to talk about Jesus everywhere I go, and Jesus this and Jesus that. They're having people on their podcast, and I told Robin, I said, how funny that God has just bypassed all of us religious people that think we're so necessary
and gone straight to,
and just went straight to the voices that are willing to say something, and they're not caught up in all the nuance and idiosyncrasies of our denominational preferences,
our church system.
Yeah, and I told you this before. I was watching Russell Brand long before he became a Christian. He got born again. I was shocked. I thought it was fake. I thought he's lying.
This is going to turn into a comedy.
Thing. Yeah. And he just kept going deeper and looking into religion and Jesus.
And the attacks got worse and worse
from Christians.
Yep.
And I'll never forget the day he baptized several friends of his that were hellions, according to the stories told. And he's in a river, and he's just dunking them done it, but he was in his underwear, his skivvies.
Yeah.
Right.
So now we're gonna
Oh,
cut
they
that up.
wore him out. How dare he? Now,
How unholy.
I'm like, hey, okay, he's from Europe. He probably thinks differently anyway about what we would think about skivvies or a bathing suit or a.
They still have nude beaches over there.
Yeah. So and yet just Christians, it's like, I don't really care that he just had 15 of his friends come to Christ. He's not doing it my way.
Or wearing the clothes I want him to wear doing it.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
And I said that on my story today. I said that, you know, if we could ever get past all of the nuances and the debates of all the things we disagree on, the one thing we could say is that on Easter, 99% of all Protestant churches are going, even Catholic, Orthodox, agree on the same thing. Jesus is alive.
Yep.
Period. He's alive. And then I'm going to stay home and not go because my pastor hurt me. My denomination, I don't like them. I got church hurt.
It's going to be too busy.
Yeah. And so my comment today was just go somewhere, whether they sing a redback hymnal or they chant with nothing or they blow shofars or wave flags or they wear suits or preach King James only or use smoke machines and lights. At the end of the day, most Christians, whether we agree on same sex or what Bible version, can I drink a beer, can I get a tattoo, most professing Christians believe Jesus is alive.
Yeah.
So go worship on the day that we proclaim he's alive. Get busy with it. Are we ever going to come together and agree on everything? No, not because we're not Orthodox. So we don't have a pope. So non-denominational Protestant churches, we're never going to agree.
Right.
It's why we're Protestant. We don't agree. So,
it's the most American thing.
But I would just say this, so what? You don't like your denomination? Well, Jesus is alive. That's a Christian. So go tell people. And if you're not telling people, you become problematic. And that hurts.
Sure.
Ask yourself, who's the last person you had a conversation with that you told Jesus loved him or you loved him? Or
so if you're listening to this on Monday and you didn't go to church, what do you do now?
Well, the question would be, if you're a Christian, why? First, would you not go with a bunch of other people who are all worshiping the same God, believing the same thing? This is about Jesus, not you.
Not about you, not about the church, not about whoever's preaching.
And then Monday morning, it's the same thing I say all the time. Go on your 50 feet. If you're going to go to work today and not one person knows Jesus around you, or you've not had one conversation, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
It's not the devil. It's Christians
because
somewhere lost the passion to win people to Christ.
Because as messed up as you think your life is, there are people around you hurting.
Oh, a lot worse.
Way worse than
Way
you.
worse.
Everywhere you look.
Way worse. You know what I've been doing? It's weird, but I guess it helps people. The restaurants I go to, right? I stop and literally say, most of the time, I won't say 100%, but most of the time, I will say to the person waiting on me, hey, you know I love you. And they look at me like, what? That's what she said the other day at Longhorn.
Yeah.
I said, hey, anybody told you they love you today? And she went, no. And I said, look at me. I said, I love you.
Oh, man.
And I need you to know that. And she just got these big eyes, like almost filled with tears, like you could tell. And she went, thank you. And I went, well, you just need to know that. You're working hard, and you need to know that somebody out here loves you. Jesus loves you. Do you know not one person, not one yet, has called me an idiot and what do you mean and don't talk to me that way? Everybody looks at me shocked because we live in
foreign.
We live in a culture that's me, and fight for myself, save myself, fix myself, to the point that even Christians say that we're Christian. What that should mean is that you're telling the message of Christ. Who don't tell the message of Christ, we just use Jesus as a 4-leaf clover to help us with our little magic lamps of what we need. And I think it's all backwards. I think I wrote that yesterday. I did. I wrote it in a book that I keep with thoughts that I have. And one of my things is we're living it backwards.
Yeah.
It's just backward. I'm teaching tonight Holy Mess 2, part 2, right? I think I'm 24 weeks into the subject of holiness.
And you're only on part 2?
This is part 2, 24 weeks. But, tonight I was really inspired by, because I've been thinking, all right, where do I want to go in the last 6 weeks to really hone in on the end?
Yeah.
And I came to Jesus saying his first words are, you have to repent. And that means change your perspective. change how you think, change how you look at life. And so I'm going tonight to look at Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, of what we think he's preaching versus what he's really preaching. And that's kind of what I'm leaning into, of if we Christians are going to make any difference here in the near future, we're going to have to change our perspective of the way we see this thing. Not repent like you better get rid of your tobacco, you better not smoke, stop cussing, right? All of that plays out and should be a character of a Christian anyway. But the reason we're backward is because we have God, but our perspective, our philosophies, our ways of doing life, and we just kind of tag God in to feel better about ourselves and about our future so I don't go to hell, versus what Jesus is going to say. Because
it's the fear of what could happen to me.
Because I opened up, 20 weeks ago, I opened up with the scripture, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. And I made the joke, impossible. Absolutely impossible. Can't do it.
Only one person.
So now we've rolled back to the same passage we started with, and we're about to say, when he says this, what is the whole premise coming to this moment of be perfect? And I was really excited because I've never taught it before. Yeah. And I always like when I see something I've never seen. I've taught the Bible for 40 years. So when I see something I've never seen before, I'm like, oh, man, how did I miss that? But at the same time, it's like very exciting. You called me and said, hey, I'm going to be a little late today, right? And I was in there studying. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'm here. Like literally, like yeah. I was in it. Like this is coming and I need to sit here with this. So
the download is happening.
So if I was going to say anything today, I would say this: you need to change the way you think, because the way you think is going to be forced to change if you're going to do life as a Christian and what's waiting you.
Yeah.
Change the way you think about life, how you're going to manage that life, how children are going to be raised. We can't run from it. So how are we going to navigate this? How am I as a Christian going to navigate moving forward in the future? Because most people are not going to need your wisdom.
Right.
They've got it, and whether they use Claude or Gemini or whatever they use. But the one thing that they're even saying in the world of artificial intelligence is making the robot understand empathy and emotions.
Wow.
They're going to get there. They're already trying to get there with some they were talking about. But the empathetic side, to where I empathize with your pain because we all know the robot doesn't feel my pain.
Right.
But when you talk to it,
you can train it to.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still artificial.
Sure.
So one of the things is, hey, hands-on love and care, personal care is going to be the thing that skyrockets. Personal care, hands-on, human to human. People will starve for that.
Yeah.
And I think the way the Christian wins is, I care about you. I'm here for you. I showed up for you. You said that to me several weeks ago. You sent me a text. You said, dude, thank you for showing up for me when I needed it.
Yep.
Will robots replace that? I don't know if a robot would have showed up and done what a human would do.
Wouldn't have felt the same.
It doesn't feel the same because, when a human does it, they sacrifice something.
Inconvenienced you.
Yeah, it sacrificed something.
Yeah.
So if the human doing something for you sacrificed something for you, which is Jesus, it makes you appreciate the relational.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a robot doesn't sacrifice anything. All he's got to do is obey. Just obey the prompts that are put in. So I think that, again, I always connect things to the Bible. I think that's why human sacrifice, not killing babies, human sacrifice, meaning I inconvenience myself for the love of another human, is going to skyrocket because it is the message of the gospel. God sacrificed himself for us, human to human.
It'll skyrocket and plummet probably at the same time, right? The world will split, in my opinion.
Because now we struggle with that now. I don't have time.
It already exists.
I don't want to bother him.
Yep.
I'd much rather bother my robot. But I do believe it's going to be a win-win, because when it happens, they're already talking now about how to sell products, that the products that have human involvement, they're looking at a way to categorize that. So if you buy something, it will literally say on the tag, made by a human.
It'll be like Etsy.
And it will be worth more.
Yeah.
So anything with a human touch in the future, right now we don't care.
Yeah.
But in the future, it will be so foreign.
A human built that cabinet,
yes,
not a robot.
It will be so much more valuable.
It'll be a premium for it.
It will be like an antique.
Because you're not lazy.
Yeah, premium price.
Interesting.
Premium price.
Well, cool.
All because of just human involvement. And I think that's where the church is going to shine, is that we have human involvement.
Yeah.
you know, hey, we're here to cry, love with you, we hurt with you. Go read Corinthians where it says, hey, comfort, when you've been hurting, go comfort those that are hurting. When you cry, comfort those that are crying, right? The whole thing of when I hurt, you hurt, we hurt together is something artificial intelligence cannot accomplish. And I think that's the win-win for the church. I'm not afraid of it. I think the church is going to shine.
So go be human, love people.
Inconvenience yourself to show them love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inconvenience yourself.
Which
so
is very non-American.
Which somebody else will know
just our culture.
that they're loved.
I don't know, non-American, but just our culture doesn't push for that.
It's a win-win all the way around. My mom, I'll end here. My mom just graduated therapy. She's been in therapy for 1.5 years, and they graduated her, right? And she said one of the women...
Physical therapy?
Yeah. One of the women there made the comment as she was leaving about how much she impacted her life being there.
Just being a person.
And so my mom, you know, was going to take her to lunch. The same is true for all of we go to Longhorn, my parents do, and I go with them some, but they were leaving the other day. I took them to lunch, and we were walking out. Probably 5 of the waiters and waitresses are, bye, Mama June, bye, Papa Gene, bye, Mama June, bye, brother. You cannot buy that artificially. So because you grow old and you know people's stories and you know their scars and you know their hurts and you know that's where the church is going to shine. I say own that. I say it will inconvenience us. It will cost us. It's worth it. Use your life for the love of somebody else and embrace what's coming, and we'll all be better for it.
Love it. We'll see you all next week. Thanks so much for listening.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
And hope you all made it to church yesterday.
And go on your 50 feet. It's Monday.
Go love somebody. Go tell somebody you love them.